No. Fix it again. Fix it more. Wait, we got some. That's his face. I'm sorry.
Whopper.
We're rolling, Sarah. All right. Beautiful. That's right.
This week we're doing Great Wolf Lodge for Harper's birthday.
Nailed it.
What was your favorite thing that we did in Pennsylvania?
Great Wolf Lodge.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Like Lucas said, Great Wolf Lodge. We were in Pennsylvania, and we had some of the worst parking. I think the second one, Sarah disagrees. She thinks it was all mental, but it felt really overwhelming. But the reason we did was because Thousand Trails, which we like to stay at because it saves us money. So anyway, so we try to do that.
Let Daddy talk.
But in Thousand Trails, they have this weird policy where with Labor Day, Memorial Day, and 4th of July, you can only be booked one of those holidays.
I'm dying.
This is what we deal with all the time.
Yes, 100%.
So you can only have it one of those holidays.
Yeah.
We already had the 4th of July booked in
Gateway to Cape Cod in
Massachusetts. Yes. So we had to stay out of the Thousand Trails system. Ironically, it only counts for one day, Friday.
Yeah. And I didn't figure that out because I knew it. I figured that out just from trying to make reservations. I figured out that as long as we were out on Friday, it let me make reservations for Saturday. And also, we just found somewhere to stay on that Friday, had one travel day and then another travel day. And
Yeah.
so, and just to reiterate, if you don't know Thousand Trails and you're trying to learn or, how the reservations and the policies work, you'll see people say, or when you buy your membership, you'll see it say you're allowed one holiday reservation at a time. So the holiday reservations are just like camping holidays, which are, again, Labor Day, Memorial Day, and 4th of July. So you're only allowed to have one of those booked at a time in the system. We had our 4th of July already booked, so we spent the Memorial Day out of the system, which was just the Friday. So we ended up at Jonestown AOK Campground.
Not KOA. AOK.
I guess apparently they switched. It was hard to find anything.
Maybe they were tricking us.
But they did just change their name to Cozy Campground. And it looked like, I think they have new owners. It looked like they were doing a lot of stuff. They were, starting to work on things. Like the road in was freshly paved. And it looked like they've been making a lot of upgrades to it.
Yes.
And the office people were super nice.
The parking was a nightmare. So they had us in a pull-thru, which usually we struggle with pull-thrus for some reason, but they do give you a sense of peace whenever they're like, it's a pull-thru.
Yeah.
You instantly are like, okay.
The thing about a pull-thru is that if it's just this with stuff on both sides, that ain't a pull-thru. That's hey, we're going to have to figure out how to get into this. A good pull-through has space on both sides to where you can, yoke it way out and turn into it and then get yourself straight.
Yep.
Some pull-throughs are not that way. Like, you've got everything right there and it's just a really small thing that you've got to figure out how to get this huge thing turned like 90-degree angles and in.
And then the other thing about a pull-through is that even once you get in it, the harder it is to get in it, I always feel like the harder it is to get out of that thing. So this one we were really worried because there was a tree on one side that went up like this kind of at the top.
Yeah.
And then the concrete pad that's supposed to be your porch was up a foot off the ground.
Yeah, it was really high.
So not something you could just ramp your trailer up on. I mean, I guess you could, but I don't know if it would be any good.
You could tell that somebody before us had because the corner was cracked.
Yeah,
So
it looked like a really big site, but it really was just about as wide as our camper could have got into there.
So I had read, like the night before, a couple nights before I got on, and I was reading reviews to see, because they didn't assign the site. I didn't know which site we were going to be in. You find out when you got there. And so I was like, I don't know, I'm going to read the reviews, make sure, see how to get there, and all that kind of stuff. Well, one of the most recent reviews on Google was like a guy that had hit a tree. He pulled in at night, which we've told y'all we don't do because then you can't see stuff. But he apparently got there late, pulled in at night, and hit a tree in the back of the site. And I was like, ooh, that sounds, man, that's bad, right? And he was complaining about the campground, you know, not doing anything or whatever. So when we get there that day, and it was like a 45-minute drive or something. Like, we didn't have a long travel day.
Yeah, it wasn't long. We saw a dented tree, and it looked like someone hit it.
We pull in that day, hadn't been a long drive day.
Yep.
You go into the office, and the lady tells me the site. And she's like, oh, it's pull-thru. It's real easy to get right there. You know, it's like right by the office. And I was like, okay. And I was joking. And I was like, it's not the one that somebody hit the tree recently, huh? And she's like, what? And I said, yeah. I said, on your Google reviews, you know, apparently somebody hit a tree in a pull-thru or something. And she's like, oh, I don't know anything about that. We pull up to the site.
Uh-huh. And it was the one that the guy hit the tree.
They had just cut, like you could see on the tree, a fresh mark where the tree had been cut. The picture in the review, that was the tree. Like, they had cut off the part that he hit. So, it did make it to where this tree is not hanging over the entire... it wouldn't have been a pull-through with that in there. And I think it was still advertised as one. But
And
it had
he
been
was in
cut.
a small camper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it had been cut, but we were scared. But, like, the site has bad, you know, memories.
And we honestly told him we weren't going to park there.
Yeah.
We had backed into the site. We were going to just back into the next site.
Mm-hmm.
But once we got so far into that site, we realized, oh, well, now at this angle, we could just pull through.
Yeah. But if that site hadn't been clear behind us,
Right.
we would not have gotten into it.
No,
Yeah.
we would have scraped the whole side off of this thing. So it was a real test. So today is going to be our second travel day in a row, which is like an absolute nightmare because travel days are the most stressful. But this one in particular, because we're in this park, right? It's beautiful. But often when you see a lot of trees, it means there's a lot of trees in your spot. So we pulled into here. Look at these two trees. 1, 2. And we saw a Google review where somebody hit one of those trees trying to get out because it was such a tight spot. Which is true. We had to come up. It's supposed to be pull through, but you can't pull through it. Not with the 42 footer. So we had to back in to that spot and then pull into this one. And now when we leave, we're hoping we can just pull out this way and make it. But there's a picnic table, 2 trees, and another camper right there. So I pretty much thought about it all day yesterday, all the way up until now. So hopefully if you see this video, it's like we did it and not like we're going home because we've got no camper. So we'll see. So,
And you know, that's something that we're noticing in a lot of these northeastern campgrounds.
Yep.
The further northeast we get, the smaller the sites are. You know, the campgrounds have been around forever before they had these huge things, and they're hard to get into.
which leads us to the next site. We went to, I don't know if it's just called Appalachian Campground.
We bought the Trails Collection add-on, and it's a Trails Collection park.
Yep. And in that site, it was just a pull-through. They're super long. If we can find a picture of it, we'll put it up. But it's really long sites, but they're all pretty close. And we were pulling in on Saturday of Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
So it could not have been any more crowded.
It's a hopping campground. Like
It's pretty crowded.
And so to pull in, there were, campers on both sides with their trucks parked. So fortunately, our neighbor, he moved his truck. The neighbor across the street watched theirs because there's trucks everywhere. So we got into it. It probably wasn't that bad.
No.
But mentally at the time, I felt like it was another.
Well, I mean, everybody was
horrible
outside
spot.
watching too. Like, everybody was outside watching, But they were like buddy sites, so it was like probably 100 foot long. It was really long. I don't know the purpose of them being that long, but they were like buddy, so that's why they were so long.
So you would either face each other or you would share a utility.
Pedestal.
Which is frustrating because then when they were taking showers, our water pressure was low.
But we
Sure,
have
it
no
was nice.
complaints.
Yeah, it
we
was a
didn't.
great
I mean, we
park.
didn't notice anything. We really liked that park.
Lucas loved it.
There was mini golf carts in the back, and me and Harper and I think Thea played over there a lot.
Yeah, y'all went
There
over
was
there
a bunch of
times.
trees. We did go fishing there, and I caught 3 bass, 2 basses, or 3 basses, and
Bass.
bass.
Was that your first bass ever?
Yeah.
We got pictures. They're pretty big.
Yeah. Yeah. You do have to pay. Everybody said, I kept reading you have to pay to fish. And I went to the office and they said, well, yeah, you pay $5. The adult pays and like you wear a wristband. But I think it covers like your entire stay or something. That's what they told us. I don't know exactly. It kind of seemed like it was a holiday weekend and things were kind of crazy. So I'm not exactly sure. But we paid $5 just for me. I fished. The kids were free.
But Memorial Day was pretty nice. There was a bunch of people throwing out candy, so me and Harper really enjoyed that.
Yeah, they had a parade, a golf cart parade. They had pool parties every night with DJs and stuff.
Oh yeah,
It was
didn't we go to one? Yeah, we went to one.
We went to one.
It was pretty nice.
This is our first Memorial Day experience in an RV. I've never seen so many people ever. And it's hot. And they had a parade and Theo got thrown some suckers, so he's pretty jacked.
While we were at Appalachian, we knew that we wanted to visit Philadelphia, but I've got a group of people that are tired of big cities too. So we decided, kind of like a last minute thing, we just took a day trip into Philadelphia and we were like, we'll just see what we find to do. So I found a place that had Philly cheesesteaks that Harper could have. They could do it without cheese, and the bread was dairy free, which was Sonny's. We parked in a parking lot, walked like maybe half a mile down to this place. They were really good. Not anything better than what I've had other places, though. Was it to you?
No. Well, I'm a huge Lenny's fan. No offense to everybody in Philadelphia who's probably going to be mad now.
Show me. Take a bite.
It was good.
It was good,
But, yeah.
but it wasn't like mind-blowing.
I liked it.
You did?
A lot. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So then we walked over to like the Liberty Bell and stuff, and nobody was interested in standing in lines.
I didn't go in the line. It was
really long.
So we just sat there and waited to see if the line would get smaller.
Yeah, so we just hung out for a minute.
George Washington. Independence Hall. Independence Hall. A line for the Liberty Bell.
We didn't stay very long. It was kind of just a day trip. There was a parking lot, which I'll see if I can find it again and put it into the description. Of course, we don't have a dually, but a dually would have fit in this lot when we went. So we'll put that information on there because I know I always stress about parking and where we're going to fit and stuff. So I'll share that. But also while we were there, and the reason that we chose a Trails Collection park was because Trails Collection, well, Thousand Trails parks, you are not allowed to leave your camper overnight. So
Unattended.
Unattended. So like if we go somewhere and we're like, hey, we're going to go visit, this 3-hour trip away and we're going to stay overnight in a hotel, you're not allowed to do that in Thousand Trails. You're not allowed to leave your camper. We chose a Trails Collection park because they don't have that rule. So we stayed there, and while we were there, we stayed overnight. We had the dogs boarded with Rover, which was our first experience with that, and it worked out really well. We boarded the dogs, and we went to the Great Wolf Lodge in the Poconos. So Harper's birthday was the end of April, so her birthday's already passed, but the Great Wolf Lodge was her birthday present. It was our big birthday present. She kept asking to do a water park. So I found it's hard to find a water park in the Northeast that's open in spring. So we found the Great Wolf Lodge. We've never done it before. So we went and we spent the night and
Awesome.
had fun.
One in a lifetime experience. Since it was my birthday, we got like a gift card to the arcade. So we went to the arcade one night. And the water park was really fun. We stayed there for 2 or 3 hours. Yep. And it was really fun. I could do a lot of the rides. Or a lot of the slides. Thing. Yeah. So we did one of the scariest slides, me and Dad and Harper. It was a 40-foot drop. So me and Harper and Dad did it first. Harper and Dad. They went down the 40-foot drop and did this whole swirly thing, and then me and Dad did it. I was scared to death. Daddy tricked me into doing it. He made me think it was something else, and then I realized it was the thing, and then he was like, "Nope, you're going to do it." So I did it, and it was not that scary. But the second time we did it, oh my goodness, I was peeing my pants. I was not on the ground whenever we did the drop, and it was so scary. We both did it with Dad, and we both did it with Mom. I don't remember why it was 10 times faster the second time me and Dad did it. We were like, nope, we're not doing that no more.
But there was a lot. Theo did get to do a lot. He didn't get to do the big slides, of course, but they have like a toddler section that has toddler slides, which he got confidence and did them, and I would just wait for him at the end, and he loved the water park. He really enjoyed it.
Yeah. He got stuck on the green one a couple times.
Yeah,
and the
his
yellow
little butt,
one.
he'd have to scooch a little bit.
They had a whole like pirate humongous area section. It was like a whole pirate theme thing, but at first there was no one on it because everyone was doing all the big slides over there. We weren't late. We actually got there when it was just starting to.
Yeah.
When it just.
So here's the trick.
Before it opened.
What we did, and so that Clint would only have to take off one day of work, we went Thursday night and stayed, and we didn't do the water park. Like, we got there late. I think check-in's like 4 or something like that. So we got there about 5. We had dinner, and then we came back and explored the hotel and stuff in the room. Went to bed. The next morning,
I got to sleep on the top bunk.
Alright, this place is huge. We're on the hunt for our room. Come on, big boy.
Come on, Tim.
You don't want to see the old man? Oh, does that have...
There you go.
Is there a light?
Probably.
We got our own special room. Where? I'm getting the bunk. I'm getting the light doesn't work. I'm taking the top bunk, Lucas. The light. Top bunk's mine.
Oh,
Right on.
look at this.
I'm going to the top
I
bunk.
don't want to see you guys out of here either.
And bye. The only thing is, it's hard to get down.
Say, look at all this space. I feel like I'm like the kids now.
Lucas, do you want the lower bunk or that bed?
This is probably as much room as we have in the whole camper. Maybe more.
If Theo's sleeping in one of these beds, he's sleeping under me.
Okay.
Because Lucas wants his own bed.
Okay.
It's comfy, but it's kind of human, let me say.
The next morning, we got up and got all of our stuff ready and went and put all of our bags in the car and kept our bathing suits, you know, with cover-ups, and went to the water park. You can go to the water park and stay the entire day, the day of your checkout. So like checkout was like 11 or something like that. So we just went to the water park whenever it opened and stayed at the water park as long as we wanted, which Harper says we stayed 2 or 3 hours, but we stayed until like 2 or 3 o'clock. So
yeah, and we got there at like, how long were we there?
several hours.
10, I think.
We were worn out. Theo took a nap
Awesome.
on me in the chairs by the wave pool. So he got him a little power nap, so did I.
Oh, the wave pool was awesome.
Yeah.
The waves, were probably not as big as the one in Mississippi. There was one in Mississippi that we would always go to with Mom and Dad, usually Mom. So it was that one had a lot bigger waves, like maybe like a 2 foot tall waves.
Yeah.
But that one only had like 1 foot tall, so it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I could go out to the 4 feet when the waves were on, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, it was awesome.
So Harper.
Yep.
How was the birthday present?
Yeah.
It was good. We're trying to do, you know, we've always been big on experience gifts.
Yeah.
Because our kids are spoiled anyways. But being in the camper, we have limited space. So we're trying to come up with more experience gifts, you know.
Yeah.
So we thought that was pretty good. Trying to talk Dad into doing Disney for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Children.
Yeah.
What was your favorite park that we stayed at in Pennsylvania?
We did a lot. I really liked probably the Amish place. That was awesome.
That park?
That part, yeah. That
Okay.
whole area was awesome.
Yeah, but which park? Like specifically park? Which park?
Oof.
We stayed at Gettysburg, which was the farm.
Yep.
We stayed at Hershey, which was the pond with the geese. And then we stayed at Appalachian, which was the big fishing pond.
Pond with the geese.
So Harper
Hershey.
liked Hershey.
Hershey.
Really? Hershey? Both of y'all?
Yeah.
All y'all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hershey.
So that was Clint's favorite too. I liked Hershey. I liked the spot we had was really good.
Oh, yeah.
I think Appalachian was my favorite because Harper realized that she really likes fishing there, and I was a fishing kid. So, but what was your favorite thing that we did in Pennsylvania?
Great Wolf Lodge.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
After Great Wolf Lodge,
Amish.
the Amish stuff.
Yeah.
The buggy ride specifically, the Amish
The
village.
buggy
just all
ride
of it.
because we got to drive.
Yeah.
I like the Amish everything.
Yeah. Learning
It was just
about.
cool going around, seeing all the old
Have
houses.
we done the
Yeah.
video about
Getting in the country.
the Amish?
Yeah, that was our last video.
Ah.
Daddy did it without us.
How rude.
I'm gonna have a talk with
So
him.
as you'll see, they all enjoyed the Amish stuff, which surprised me. It's so funny when like you plan stuff and you think there's going to be things that everybody's going to like, and then they're like, eh. And then you do other stuff and they're like, oh my gosh, this was the best thing ever.